Okay, so today we will see default route in OSPF. We have seen yesterday default route with the help of RIP. What we have configured RIP routing protocol over here, and over here we had a default route between the ISP and the head office. We were having a default route. So what we did, we advertised the default route in the RIP. We advertised the default route in the RIP. Now today we will be using OSPF. Okay, we'll be seeing OSPF, how to advertise the routes using OSPF. So what I will do, I will go in the router. I will see two IP protocols. I'm running RIP. Okay, redistribution is there. I'm running RIP. So what I will do, I will remove the RIP. I will say no router RIP. Okay. Once I say no router RIP, show IP protocols, there will be no protocol configured. All the configurations, whatever I have done in this RIP will be removed. There is redistribution, everything will be removed. Whatever configuration I have done on the RIP. I'll go on all the this router also, and I will remove the RIP from here. No router RIP. Once I say no router RIP, the RIP configuration is been removed. Okay, no protocols are there. Now I will go on this router and I will try to ping the internet. Ping, what was the IP address? 13.0.0.1. 13.0.0.1. You cannot reach the I cannot reach the internet because why? Because I am not having any routes. I am not having any routes. Understood? So now what I will do, I will configure OSPF. So to configure OSPF on my branch office, what I have to do, I have to say OSPF, sorry, router OSPF1. Then I have to advertise the network. Network, which network? 10 dot network. The wildcard mask will be 255, 255, 255, and in area 0. I'm taking single area concept. Okay, I'm using single area, not multiple areas. And 1 dot network of WAN. 10 dot network of LAN and 1 dot network for WAN. Okay, I advertised these two networks in this router. Now I will go in the branch office, sorry, head office, and I will configure over here also. Uh, router OSPF 1 network 20 dot network in the LAN. Okay, and 1 dot network in the WAN. Okay, show IP route OSPF. Show IP route OSPF. See, I'm getting a route for 10 dot network via 1.1.1 on my head office router. On my head office router, I'm getting 1.1. Sorry, 10 dot network via 1.1.1. Correct. What I will do now, the command over here I have to give on the head office is something the same command that I have to give over here also. I will go inside the router OSPF1 and I have to say default information originate. Default information originate. Default information originate. This command you can give. Once you give this command and go on this router and you say show IP route OSPF. See, I am getting two routes over here. One is O route, that is my 20 dot network, and one is O hashtag O star E2 routes, external routes. I am getting external routes. What is my external route? It is a default route and it is via 1.1.1.2. Okay, so this type of commands you will be getting, this type of, you can say, output you will be getting when you are using OSPF. Understood? So the command is same that we have given on the head office router. Whatever the command we have given previously, default information originate. Default information originate. The command is same. Now here you cannot use the redistribution command. Here you cannot use the redistribution command. If you use the redistribution command over here, what I will do, I will remove this and I will say redistribute static then subnets. See, I'm not getting the information. I'm not getting the information over here. Okay, because what it is doing, it will be doing the redistribution for static subnets. Okay, not for the default routes. Not for the default routes. So in redistribution with OSPF, you have to compulsory give this subnet or metric value. Okay, we will be learning redistribution in previous in further lectures in detail, how we can redistribute, how we can use redistribution. Okay, what is the use of redistribution? So in OSPF you cannot use this command redistribute static subnets. Okay, it will not advertise the static routes. It will not advertise the static routes. What I will do, I will go and I will remove the redistribution, and again I will give the same command default information originate. Once I give this command and go on this router, and I say show IP route OSPF. See, I got the routes. I got the routes over here. Understood? So in OSPF, you cannot use that command, redistribution command. One more command that you can use over here in OSPF, the command is suppose my this link went down. My this link went down, then this router will not advertise the this head office router. My this link went down, so my this head office router will not advertise the default route to my network. It will not advertise because it is not having the default route in its table because this link went down. Okay, now if we want that if this link went down also, then also I need the advertisement over here in my branch office. I need the advertisement of the default route in my branch office. Okay, so what I can do, I can write a command over here. I can go in my head office and I can say router OSPF 1, then I can say default information originate always. What I can say? Ah, okay, here there is no option for always. The command is default information originate always. Okay, let me check. I think so. The command is in global configuration. Default information. Okay. So I don't think so. There is a command for this in. Let me check in GNS if I'm having the command. I will just see the command. I will just show you the command. I am not doing anything else. I'm just showing you the command. I'm just seeing if the command is available over here, because the command is default information originate always. Okay. So I'm on my this router, hit terminal, router OSPF1. I will say default hyphen information originate. You can see over here I am having a command always. Always advertise default route. Always advertise default route. So this is the command that I will be using. Default information originate always. So whenever if I go and switch off, if I turn off this interface, okay, this interface, then also I will be getting the advertisement over here. Then also I will be getting the advertisement over here of the default routes. Understood? How to use default route in OSPF, how to advertise default route in OSPF.
Yes, sir.
Now the next thing we will see with EIGRP. With EIGRP. What I will do, I will go and I will remove the OSPF from the routers. No router OSPF. I will go on my this router also and I will say no router OSPF 1. So IP protocols. I'm not having any protocol. Also over here I will see show IP protocols. I'm not having any protocols that are running. What I will do now? Show IP route. I'm only having directly connected routes. Now I will configure EIGRP. Router EIGRP 100 network 10.0.0.0 then 1.network. Okay. Then I will go on router, my head office router. I will say router EIGRP 100. I will say network 20.network and 1.network. See, the neighborship is up. Neighborship is up. How to verify the neighborship? Show IP EIGRP neighbor. I have a neighborship with 1.network. Okay, my one neighbor is 1.1.1.1. Okay, I can see the neighborship. Now, in this, in EIGRP, also you can use the redistribute command. The redistribute command is the same. Okay, so I will first show you the redistribution command. Redistribute static. Once I give this command on this router, I can see show IP route EIGRP. See, I got D star X means external routes. I'm getting external routes, and the AD value for external routes will be 170. AD value for the
Okay.
external routes will be yes.
Okay, so when you say when you're saying redistribute static, is it redistributing the static configured on its router to other ones, or it's distributing the static that is already configured in that in the
Yes,
other router
yes.
to
So
its
whatever we have configured the static routes in this router, okay, whatever static routes, so static default route, whatever configured between these two routers, we are advertising the static default route. Whatever is the static default route over here, what we are
okay.
doing, we are advertising this default route to my branch office.
all the branch office, once you do the default route information or static route distribution,
Yes, it will be going
use
to
static,
all the branch
you'll be
office.
going
Suppose
to
I am
all the
having,
branches.
yes, if I
Yeah.
am having multiple branch office connected over here. If I give one command over here, redistribute static, it will the information will be gone to all the branch offices that are connected.
All right.
Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So see, I got the command, I got the output over here. The external route, that is default route, and the AD value for the external route is 170. AD value is 170. Okay. So I will go again on this router and I will remove the redistribution. Now over here the command is different. Over here the command is different. What you have to give the command over here. See what we were doing. We were
Reflux.
we were saying default information originate. What will be whatever the default route is there. Okay, from the origin, just advertise it. Just advertises whatever default route is configured between you and the ISP, just advertise it. Now in this EIGRP we will provide the specific thing. We will provide a specific interface or router, you can say. So what we will say, we will say IP. Okay, uh,
Question mark. Listen.
there is nothing of IP. Just a second. The command is IP. Yes. So I have to give it in the global configuration mode. What I have to say? I have to say IP default network, then the network address, the IP address of the default network. So the which network is connected with the default route? My 2 dot network is connected with the default route. On 2 dot network, I am running the default route. Correct? On this 2 dot
Mm.
network, I am running default route. So what I will go and say, I will say IP default network. The default route is configured on the network 2 dot. That's it. Now once I go on this router, I should get.
I'm thinking maybe you still need to do something on the ARGRP router and the head office.
mm, there is no command in the EIGRP.
Okay.
Great. For summary. Let me
You
check.
can try it again.
Why it is not giving me the output? But this is the command, you can see IP default network, and I have to give the network address. Go, go. So IP route EIGRP. I'm having one doubt for 20 dot network. IP default network 2 dot network is only the command. So IP route EIGRP. It should give me the command. It should give me the output over here. What can be the command now? This is only the command. No issues. I will check what is the issue regarding this. Why it is not giving the command? Why it is not giving the output over here? Because if I will go and use this GNS3, I have to configure the topology again. I have to give the IP addresses again. So I will not do that thing. I will check it afterwards. Okay, because it will be time-consuming process. I will check it. Why it is not giving me the output, and I will let you know in the next lecture.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rest all the things you understood. How to configure OSPF, default route in OSPF, and how to configure.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question. Like, when to use the redistribute one and when to use the default origin? Is
See,
there any preference or is there any like logical
there is
thing
no
that we have to
difference.
keep in?
Redistribute we use in a large network. Okay,
Okay.
whenever we are having a large network, then we use redistribution. Okay, but whenever my redistribution is something a different concept. Okay, see,
Yes,
I
yes, that.
yeah. So redistribution is something a different concept. So what concept I was trying to explain you? Suppose this is my head office and my multiple branch offices are connected over here, and I want that this branch office should get internet from this network. So I have to, in this scenario, I have to use default network.
Not
Understood?
just this, like in the other, like OSPF and RIP also. Like we have, like in OSPF we don't have two options, but in RIP also we have two options, right? So like the thing normally we just use default orinet or default orinet always command. We normally don't use redistribute, so that's why I asked.
Sorry, I didn't got you. Come again.
I said we normally use the default net
Yes,
command
default originate command for default information.
instead of the redistribute one. So that's why. Is there a like any preference or any scenarios that we use the
See,
redistribute?
this is the scenario in which we can use default information network. Now, where redistribution is used, suppose we are running different routing protocols. Okay, I have a network, I have suppose multiple routers. Okay, and over here I am running OSPF, and on this router I am running EIGRP. Okay, and over here I am having one more router. On this router I am running RIP. I'm running RIP. So to get to now these routers cannot communicate with each other because they are running different routing protocols. One is these two routers are running OSPF, okay, and this router is running EIGRP. I'm just giving an example. The scenario must be different. Okay, so this router is running RIP. So now they cannot communicate with each other. So to get communication between each other, to get the communication between RIP and EIGRP and OSPF, RIP and OSPF, we use redistribution command. We use redistribution command. Okay. In this scenario, we use redistribution command.
Okay, so I think the question actually is not this. It's just saying that okay, you know, like for real. we have the distribution command and we have the default root configuration. You said when you are using OSPF, you can only use default root information. Distribute, you cannot redistribute the static there. But it's saying that what is the scenario? Let's say we're doing a RIP. What is the advantages of using the distribute or default root information
See, you
in
cannot use
terms of
default root information over here. See, what
over
is
there?
the
Yes,
command? What is the command for what is the use of default root information that we are uh, advertising the
that's
default root. We are advertising the default root.
default root. Yes. So
Okay.
for a network that has multiple, so what you are trying to say now is that redistribution is a more larger concept. Is for a more larger concept.
Yes,
Default root
larger concept also.
mainly is mainly channeled for redistributing maybe a default root configuration to branches. Whereas you can still use distribution in that case, but distribution is made for a bigger concept like having large different multiple protocols on the network. That's what I
But
understand, sir.
yes, but if you want that, see, redistribution is something that is done between the IGP protocols. Okay, IGP protocols, and default information is done on the default route. Default information originate command is run on the default route. So you cannot
Yeah.
use the command when you are configuring two IGP protocols such as OSPF and EIGRP. I'm running two OSPF protocols, and if I'm using default information originate, then it is of no use. It is of no use. Understood?
Yeah.
Here in this scenario, I have to use redistribution only. But in this scenario, why the redistribution command is given? Because here, if you see, we have configured static route, static default route. Okay, it is also a type of routing protocol, and here also we are running a type of routing protocol, any routing protocol. So what we are doing, we are advertising one routing protocol into another routing protocol. What we are doing, we are advertising one routing protocol into another routing protocol. This is what redistribution is. Basically, redistribution is something that you can advertise one routing protocol into another routing protocol.
Mhm.
These OSPF routes will be advertised with EIGRP routes. And OSPF routes will be advertised you can see the OSPF routes in this router's routing table. Understood? If we use redistribution.
Yes, 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 yes.
Any doubt, Tushar, Arjun, Hari, Varun?
No, sir.
No doubt.
Okay. Ayan, any doubt? You are also not asking me anything. Are you available, Ayan? Okay. Thank you very much. Now we will start a new topic. We have learned this thing in CCNA, but as you know that this in new CCNA syllabus there is no EIGRP concept. Okay, so Varun and Hari has done new CCNA. They have not done the old CCNA, so they don't know what is EIGRP. Okay, what is EIGRP? So I will give some brief about EIGRP so that they can also get the idea about EIGRP, what is EIGRP and how it is running. So if I say EIGRP, what is EIGRP? As per you, what is EIGRP? It is a routing protocol, correct? It is a type of routing protocol, distance vector routing protocol,
Mhm.
correct? So you can say it is
Yeah.
a distance vector routing protocol. Distance vector routing protocol. It is also known as hybrid protocol. It is also known as hybrid protocol. It was Cisco proprietary. Now it is open standard. Previously it was Cisco proprietary. Now it is open standard. It uses multicast address 224.0.0.10 to send the updates. You can say it uses multicast address. Now what can be the next point? It uses IP protocol port number 88. The port number that is being used is 88. It has AD value as 90. 90 for
Internal, external
internal
170.
routes. For internal routes, it is having 90 as the AD value. 170 for external routes. I've shown you. And one more is there. 5 AD value is for summary routes. For what? Summary routes. Okay. If any summary routes is being sent, then it will be using 5 as the AD value. Then it does equal and unequal cost load balancing. Equal and unequal cost load balancing. It supports MD5 authentication. It uses Diol algorithm. We'll see what is Diol algorithm to calculate
Mhm.
the best path.
Yeah. It's
Its metric is cost, or you can say its metric is uh, it's not cost. You can say metrics consist of
5,
different
K1,
pi.
K2, K3,
Yes.
K4, K5.
So it metrics consist of composite value. Is a composite of bandwidth,
Bandwidth, delay,
delay, load,
load, MTU,
reliability,
reliability, MT.
reliability, then MTU. It is a composite of bandwidth, delay, load, reliability, and MTU. you can say, but by default,
Bandwidth and delay 1.
only bandwidth and delay are used to calculate the metric. By default, only bandwidth and delays are used. Bandwidth and delay value is used. That is 1 and 1. Okay, rest all the values will be
0.
0.
0.
Rest all the value will be 0. Okay. Then what you can say, uh, okay, maximum hop count can be 255. Maximum hop count can be 250. Maximum 5 routers. Okay. Then it uses 20% of jitter delay time. Jitter delay time to synchronize updates. What is jitter delay? What is jitter? What is jitter?
Uh,
Jitter is something disturbance. If you are
Disturbance kind
sending
of.
some packet, okay, if you are sending some packet, then due to some electromagnetic interference, there are some loss of packets in voice packets. Okay, so that is known as jitter. Any disturbance whenever you are talking. So sometimes whenever we are talking on call, so we are getting some types of disturbance. We are getting some voice. Okay, we are getting some disturbance. So that noise, that voice is known as jitter. The disturbance noise is known as jitter delay. Okay. Now on fast links, it's updates. Updates. You can say hello packets. Hello packets are sent every 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds. On fast links, hello packets are sent every 5 seconds. On slow links, every you can say every 60 seconds, I think so. Yeah, 60 seconds. In every 60 seconds, the hello packets will be forwarded. Then you can say by default, it supports auto summarization. By default, it supports auto summarization. Okay. Mm, okay. So these are the things that we have to know about the EIGRP. Okay, EIGRP has these many points. So we will study about EIGRP more. Now, what we can study about EIGRP? So we can study, we are having different types of tables in EIGRP. Okay, we are having this different types of tables as we are having in OSPF. So in EIGRP, we are having The tables are not given over here. No issues. So matrix is calculated with bandwidth and delay because all other values are zeros. Okay, all other values are zeros. MD5 authentication. The MD5 authentication is something, it is a key digest in each EIGRP packet that prevents introduction of unauthorized or false routing messages from unapproved sources. Understood? What is MD5 authentication? It is a type of authentication. Okay. Now we can see types of tables in EIGRP. Anyone, what is the first type of table?
Neighbor.
Yes, neighbor table. Neighbor table will be
Neighbor.
having list of directly connected nodes, you can say. List of directly connected nodes. So what do you mean by directly connected nodes? Suppose I am having some routers. This is my router A. Okay, this router A is connected with router B, also connected with router C. This is my router B, this is my router C, and these two routers are connected with one more router D. So in neighbor table of A, I will be having information about B and C directly connected neighbors. In B, I will be having the information about A and D. In C, I will be having the information about again A and D. In D, I will be having the information about B and C. Okay, directly connected nodes. Directly connected nodes. Understood? This is something neighbor table. Okay, now the second one is topology table. Topology table. Now, what is topology table? Topology table is something list of all best routes learned from each router. List of all best routes learned from each router. Understood? So what do you mean by list of all best routes learned from each router? So this is my router A. My router A is connected to router B, router C, and router D. Okay. Now I'm having suppose one network over here. Suppose there is a network over here, 50 dot network. 50 dot network is over here, and A want to go to 50 dot network. A want to reach to 50 dot network. Then these all B, C, and D are the three routes available. Okay, are the three routes available to reach the 50 dot network. So suppose B is having multiple routes to reach the 50 dot network. Suppose there is one router over here like this, it can go. C is also having multiple routes. Multiple routes are connected. Routers are connected in between. So it is also having multiple routes to reach the. Suppose B is having how many routes? B is having two routes to reach the 50 dot network. C is having suppose three routes to reach the 50 dot network, and D is having suppose 4 routes. Okay, I have not shown this, but let us consider that from B, if I go, if A will go from B, I am having 2 routes. If A is going via C, I am having 3 routes. If A is going via D, I am having 4 possible routes to reach 50 dot network. Now, what will be the information that will be stored in the topology table is, see, B is having 2 routes, but what B will do, B will give the best route among these two. Among these 2 routes, what will be the best route? We will advertise that best route to the A. So B gave 1 route. Among these 3 routes, C will also advertise 1 route. C also gave 1 route. D will have 4. D has 4 routes. So among these 4 routes, whatever will be the one best route, D will advertise to A. So D also from D also it got 1 route. So these 3 routes information will be stored in the routing table. List of all best routes learned from each router. List of all best routes learned from each router. Understood? Any doubt, guys? Topology
No.
table. Okay.
No doubt.
Now, the third type of table is routing table, which is there in all the routing table. Now, what does the routing table contains? Best route information. See, I have got 3 routes in the topology table. 1, 2, 3. Now, among these 3 routes, there must be one best route. So, suppose this is my best route. So, this route information will be stored in the routing table. Okay, because my routes are selected as per my routing table, and my routing table will be having one route. Okay, understood? So these are some routing tables, EIGRP tables. Okay. So these are some components of EIGRP. There is nothing important in this. PDM, protocol dependent module, that is IP, IPv6, it supports AppleTalk. These all things it supports. Okay, then we have reliable transport protocol. Delivery of each packet ensures updates are delivered quickly and data is tracked accurately. Okay, so RTP is something, reliable transport protocol is something, you can say it will ensure the updates are delivered quickly. Whatever updates will be sent on the multicast address, they are sent and they are tracked accurately. Okay, so this looks, the RTP protocol looks into this thing, the delivery of the updates. Then we are having NDP, neighbor discovery protocol, which will discover the neighbors using NDP. Okay, then the last one we are having is DIOL, diffusion update algorithm. The algorithm selects the best path. By using this algorithm, diffusion update algorithm, it uses the best path. It selects the best path. We will be learning.
So for EIGRP, you don't need the CDP neighbors.
Sorry.
So for EIGRP, you don't need to configure CDP.
You can configure CDP neighbors. You are asking me CDP neighbors. So
That
when
is
you
Yes.
different.
configure CDP neighbors?
No, because you have a neighbor table already. That's what I'm saying.
So in all the routers we have, in all the routing protocols, we will be having the neighborship.
Okay. So to get
This
the
is different, right?
details.
NDP is different. This is for
Yes.
the neighborship formation of FE.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
Yes. So it is something the neighborship discovery for EIGRP only.
Okay.
Within EIGRP, if your neighborship NDP is something used to discover neighbors within EIGRP. Understood?
Yeah.
Now, if someone wants to become the neighbor, then there are some requirements. The first requirement is the AS number. AS number is the first requirement. What is AS number? Whatever we give, whatever, suppose if you remember, I gave a command router EIGRP 100. This 100 is my AS number. Okay, if any router want to be neighbor of the other router, they should be in the same AS number, autonomous system number. They should be in the same AS number. Understood?
Yeah.
Should be in the same AS number. I will write this thing over here. Okay. Then the next thing is K values should match. K values should match. Now K values are something, if you go K values, if you see the K values, there are different values. K1 bandwidth, then we have K2, suppose load, K3 is my delay,
K3
K4
delay, K reliability,
reliability,
K5 MT.
K5 is MTU, maximum transmission unit, okay, which is also known as additional reliability. Additional reliability. Okay, so these all things should match. Now, if you go and see the K values, okay, bandwidth, speed of the link. What is bandwidth? The speed of the link, or you can say the width of the link. The width of the link. If you go and see the bandwidth for serial interfaces, the bandwidth will be 1544 kbps. For fast Ethernet, it will be 100 mbps. For gigabit interfaces, it will be 1000 mbps. Okay, so we can verify over here. We are running EIGRP only. So interface serial. It is the interface number 2/0. 2/0. See over here, you can see the different values. Delay is 20,000 milliseconds, microseconds. Reliability is 255. You can give maximum value as 255. MTU is 1500 bytes. Okay, so you can transfer 1500 bytes. Okay, see if you go over here now, you can see these are some default things. Okay, the delay for serial links is 20,000 microseconds. Okay, and for fast Ethernet 100 microseconds, gigabit 10 microseconds. Okay, MTU is maximum transmission unit. What is MTU? Maximum transmission unit. That is 1500 bytes can be transmitted at a time. 1500 bytes can be transmitted at a time. If you go to reliability, reliability is something status of the link, you can say. What is the status of the link? It can be calculated between 1 and 255. So 1, it is not reliable. If the link is having a reliability count as 1, then the link status is not reliable. Okay, if it is having 255, it is most reliable, you can say. Most reliable, 255. Then the last one is load. Load is amount of traffic that is moving on the link. What is the amount of traffic that is moving on the link? Amount of traffic that is moving on the link. It can be given in between 1 to 255. It can be between 1 to 255. Understood? The K values.
Yes.
Okay, the last one is authentication. If you are using AS number is same, K values are same, but your authentication is different, then also they will not form the neighborship. So authentication means password, authentication type or authentication should be same on both the sides. Okay. Now, as I told you, there is a concept of equal and unequal cost load balancing. Now, what do you mean by equal and unequal cost load balancing? Equal cost load balancing means suppose I am having a router over here. Okay, I am having two routes and both the routes are having same bandwidth. Suppose 1544, 1544. Okay, 1544. So this is something equal cost load balancing. Equal cost load balancing. Some packets will go from here and some packets will go from here. This is something equal cost load balancing. What is unequal cost load balancing? What is
We have
unequal
a
cost load balancing?
CI interface and a facet.
The cost on both the sides are not equal. Suppose the cost over here is 1000. The cost over here is 1000. So what will happen now? It will select the best route. It will select the best route. Okay. And by default, it will not do unequal cost load balancing. By default, it will not do unequal cost load balancing. So we have to configure unequal cost. If you want to use unequal cost load balancing, then we have to configure it manually. So by default, it will select this path only. By default, it will select this path only as per the calculation. It will select this path and it will not select this path because we are not using unequal cost load balancing. And once we enable unequal cost load balancing, then it will send some packet via this route and also via this route once we enable the unequal cost load balancing. So if the matrix is not equal, then also we can do load balancing using variance concept in EIGRP. So this is the concept of variance. Okay, this is the concept of variance. Cost of successor. Cost of successor. This is my successor route. The best route is known as the successor route. Best route is known as the successor route. Cost of the successor. This is the cost of the successor into variance. Multiply by variance. Any value you can give. So my cost over here is suppose 1500. 1544. Okay, 1544. Should be, suppose my cost over here is I will say 3000. It is not 1000, it is 3000. Okay, so the cost of the successor should be greater than cost of other routes to be used for load balancing. What it means, this is 3000 and my cost of the successor is 1544. If I multiply any variance value, suppose I multiply 1, then it will be 1, this value only, sorry, 1544 into, if I give 1, then it will be the same value. Suppose if I give 2, then the value will be changed. Suppose the value will be 3088. The value became 3088 and my another path, the value of another path is 3000. Okay, so in this scenario, I can perform unequal cost load balancing now. I have enabled the variance. Okay, now cost of successor into the variance value. So the variance can be given between 1 to 255. Sorry, 1 to 128, I think. have to check. I think so. It is 1 to 128. Mm, I have to check. Okay. Yeah, it is 1 to 128. You can give the variance value as 1 to 128 as per your network. So the cost of successor multiply by variance value, whatever the output will come of this, should be greater than the cost of other route. We were having two routes, one was 1544, another was 3000. So the cost of successor route should be greater than the cost of other routes that we are having. Understood? Then it will do unequal cost load balancing. It will send packets from both the sides. It will send packets from both the sides. Understood? Unequal cost load balancing. Okay. Okay. Now we can see how it forms the table. How it forms the table. Let me check if I am having any document. Okay. Implementing AIGRP based solutions. Features, path selections. See, these are the points. Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol. The full form of EIGRP, Enhanced Interior Gateway Routing Protocol, is hybrid routing protocol. Because EIGRP is having characteristics of both distance vector. Why it is known as hybrid? It is having characteristics of distance vector as well as link state routing protocol. Okay, understood? I have given you all these points. Triggered updates, multicast address, dual algorithm, K values. See, these are the K values: bandwidth, delay, bandwidth, load, delay, reliability, LTU. Rest all the values are zero. Only the delay and the bandwidth are used. Okay, this is the formula. 256 to calculate the metric. 256 into 10 by 10 to the power 7 divided by lowest bandwidth plus cumulative delay. This is the formula. The requirement for neighborship in EIGRP. Now this is something uh, packets, you can say, initial route discovery, you can say. So hello packet, update packet, query, reply, acknowledgement. Okay. So in initial stage, whenever a router is advertised with EIGRP, whenever this interface is advertised with EIGRP, it will send an hello packet on multicast address 224.0.0.10. It will send an multicast address to a hello packet on this link. Okay, so this is also advertised in EIGRP. Now he will say, I am router A, who is on the link. Then a reply hello packet will be coming, hello, I am router B. Okay, with this, what this will do, you will send, this router B will send a complete routing information, which is known as update, which is known as update packet. Complete routing information. You will send a complete routing information. Okay, now this router will get this information update packet. He will send an ACK packet. Thanks for the information. And he will also share the routing information, the complete routing information in the routing table, in the update table. Okay. So whenever the hello packets are exchanged, there is a neighbor table formed. Whenever the hello packets are exchanged, the neighbor table is informed. And when both the routers exchange the update packet, then topology table has been formed. The routing table has been updated, then the complete route information has been exchanged, then the topology table has been formed. Then when both the networks are converged with each other, both the network sends ACK messages, then the routing table is built. Then the routing table is built. Okay, so this is something initial route discovery process. How the routers in EIGRP become the neighbors. Okay, so this is the process to become the neighbors. Understood? So we have used hello packet, update packet, and ACK packet. Now, what is the use of query and reply packet? We will see in further slide what is the use of query and reply packets. See, EIGRP uses two parameters to determine the best route, successor and any backup route as feasible successor. So EIGRP will be always uh, electing successor and feasible successor as per some calculation. So the calculation, what will be the calculation? I will show you what will be the calculation. Okay, if the criteria matches, then only it will select the feasible successor. Okay, so I will show you, don't worry. Now we have something known as ADRD, the EIGRP metric for a EIGRP neighbor to reach a particular network, also referred to as the reported distance, is known as either advertised distance or reported distance. What it is known as? Advertised distance or reported distance. Advertised distance or reported distance. So now FD, we have a concept of FD, the AD for a particular network. So I will explain you in better way. See, this is my FD and AD. Okay, so see, you can see this diagram over here. You can see the diagram over here. So I'm having multiple paths. Suppose my uh, source is A and my destination is F. My source is A and my destination is F. Now I am having multiple paths. I am having ABF, ACF, and I am having AD. This is my D. This is what? D. Okay, so I am having multiple paths ABF, ACF, and ADF. So feasible distance is distance from my source to destination. How much is my distance from source to destination? So if I calculate from A to B, the distance is 1000. From B to F, the distance is 1000. So for ABF, my distance will be, my FD value will be 2000. Feasible distance. Feasible distance. Total cost from local router to the destination. Total cost from local router to the destination. Cost from local router is equal to this we will see later. Okay, understood. So if I calculate via this route ACF, how much is the value? How much will be the my FD value? ACF, what will be my FD value for ACF? Feasible distance. My FD value will be 1500 plus 1500, that will be 3000. 3000. My FD value will be 3000. And I have one more path, ADEF. ADEF. What is my FD value for ADEF? Guys, what is my FD value for ADEF?
7,000.
7,000. Correct. See, how 7,000, 2,000, 2,000 and 3,000. Okay. Now, see what it is. Feasible distance is the total distance from source to destination. Is the total distance if you are going anywhere. Okay, if you are going anywhere, suppose you are going outside in McDonald's. Okay, so what you do, you calculate, suppose you are going for outing anywhere. Okay, you are going for in some outstation. Okay, so what you calculate the distance. You calculate the distance from your location to that location wherever you want to go. So how you calculate the distance? There are many things you can calculate via the time, how much time it will take, or you can calculate the distance via kilometers. Okay, the same thing. The source to destination is known as the feasible distance. The feasible distance. Now, what is advertised distance? AD. Advertised distance, or you can say reported distance. RD. Reported distance. Cost from next hop router to the destination. Cost of next hop router to the destination. So if I go via this way from ABF, my next hop router is this B. B is my next hop router. So for cost from B to F is 1000, from next hop router to F, my destination. So the AD value for ABF will be how much? 1000. AD value of ABF will be 1000. See over here. Now ACF, AD value for ACF. This is my next stop router, and the cost from next stop router to reach the destination is 1500. 1500. Okay, in the last, this is my next stop router D. The cost from D is 2000 plus 3000 to reach the destination. 2000 plus 3000, which is 5000. Okay, understood what is AD and FD? Varun, Hari, Dade.
Sir, can you repeat that?
Sorry,
Can you repeat, sir, the question?
you understood what is FD and AD?
Ah, yes, sir.
Okay. Now we will see something known as feasibility condition. Okay, on which condition it will select the best route and the second best route. On which condition it will select the best route and the second best route. Successor and feasible successor. Okay, EIGRP pre-calculates the second best route if it satisfies the feasibility condition. What is the feasibility condition? Feasibility condition says FD of the current successor, FD, feasible distance of the current successor, should be greater than AD of the feasible successor. Should be greater than the AD of the feasible successor, or you can say feasible successors AD should be less than FD of the successor. FD of the successor should be greater than feasible successor of the AD. So see, now what will be my feasible successor? Feasible successor means successor will be my best route. Successor, best route to the destination. So what is my best route in my scenario? My best route is this 2000. My best route is 2000. Why this is my best route? Because it is the smallest distance. It is the smallest distance. So this is my FD, feasible distance. This is my FD of successor. This is my FD of successor. Okay. Now, if I want second best path, then this is my feasibility condition. This is my feasibility condition. So feasible successors AD, advertised distance, should be less than the feasible distance value of the successor. So now I am having two paths, two remaining paths I am having. So I will select from these two paths, I will select the feasible successor. So if I go over here in 5000, so 5000 is greater than 2000, means this feasibility condition is not getting true. If I go on this ACF route, the advertised distance is 1500, which is less than 2000, which is less than
Sir,
yes.
sir, what if AC is 500 and CF is 2500?
I didn't got you. AC is 500
Yes, sir.
and it is 2500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we will see that thing also. Don't worry. I will explain you that thing also. So first we will understand the basic things. Okay. Then we will go to the complex things. So if my feasible distance is if my advertised distance of the second best route is less than the feasible distance of successor, the best route, then this route can be the feasible successor. Okay. In your scenario, if you are saying this will be 2500, then my cost will be how much? 3000 only. Okay. Now this advertised distance is 2500. Now it will only have the feasible success. It will only have the successor. It will not have the feasible successor. It will not have the feasible successor because the feasibility condition is not matching in both the scenarios. In both the routes, the feasibility condition is not getting true. So in this scenario, whatever you gave the example, in this scenario, it will not elect the feasible successor. It will be only having the best route, successor information. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Sorry, I don't understand this part. Please, can you?
okay, I will explain again
Please.
the whole part.
Yes, please.
Okay. So see, EIGRP, in EIGRP, it automatically selects the best route, which is known as successor. The best route is known as the successor, the best route to the destination. And it also selects the feasible successor, which is the second best route. Second best route. If suppose my best route goes down, then automatically it will select the second best route. It will converge the EIGRP and it will select the second best route automatically. Okay, so to select the second best route or feasible successor, there is a condition, feasibility condition. Okay, there is a condition. If this condition matches, then only the EIGRP will elect the feasible successor. Okay, so what is the condition? the condition is this is my FD value. Okay, these are my FD values, feasible distance. These are my AD values, advertised distance. The condition is FD of the current successor route. Now, from these three routes, this is my best route, means this is my successor route. This is my successor route. So, FD of the successor route. What is the FD of the successor route? 2000. The FD of the successor route is 2000. Correct? Should be greater than the AD of the feasible successor. The AD of the feasible successor. Now,
Okay.
this is my best route. I have two more routes. So I can select from these two routes, I can select one as my second best route. So I will see for the feasibility condition.
Right.
Okay, I will go with the advertised distance. I will see the
Okay.
advertised distance. So I will see 5000 is the advertised distance for ADEF. So this condition does not match because 2000 is not greater than 5000. Correct? So this cannot be my feasible successor. I will go to
Yes.
this route 1500. So 1500 is the AD of the feasible successor. So my feasibility condition got matched. Okay, so this will be my
Which was why.
second best route. This will be my best route and this will be my second best route. Yes, Dadi.
So which was why when he asked that, if that advertised distance is 2,500, it's still not lesser than the
Yes, when it will be
visible distance
2500 over
of the
here,
successor.
it will be 2500 over here. So now what will be this will be the feasible distance.
Well, now.
Now the value is 2500, so it will not match the feasibility condition. So in this scenario, the EIGRP will only elect the successor. It will not elect the feasible successor. It will not have the second best route. It will only
There's no
best
success.
route in the routing table.
Okay, all right.
Understood?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
So
Yes.
this is something Diol algorithm. What it is? Diol algorithm, diffusion update algorithm. Okay. Feasible successors RD or AD should be less than FD of the successor. Okay. So this is the scenario in which the best route and the second best route are elected. Understood? See, by default up to 4 routes with a metric of equal maximum metric are installed in the routing table. Okay, the maximum number of routes is the same, destination varies based on the device platform. Okay, routers will with the lowest metric get installed in the routing table by default. If two or more routes with the same metric installs both the routes in the routing table and does load balancing, this is called equal cost load balancing. It does equal cost load balancing automatically, whereas unequal cost is not automatic. For unequal cost, we need to enable variance. EIGRP can load share up to 6 paths. Default is 4 paths. Default is 4 paths. See, this is the example of unequal cost load balancing. Unequal cost load balancing. Just we have to go in EIGRP and we have to give one command. Variance is 2. Variance is 2. Now, what is my best route in this? This is my best route. Okay, via C. Via C is my best route. Correct. Feasible distance. What is my second best route? This is my second best route. Correct? This is my second best route because my AD value is less than the FD value of the successor. Okay. Now if I will give over here EIGRP 200 variance 2, what it will do? It will multiply this FD value with 2. It will become 40. Okay. So this is some the calculation that is done in the router. So if you want to configure EIGRP, okay, then what is the command that you have to give? The commands that you have to give is this: configure EIGRP on R1. Okay, so suppose this is my topology. This is my 192.168 1 dot network. This is my 0 dot network. And here it is my 16 dot network, 172.16.0 dot network. Okay, here there are my loopbacks. Okay, 10 dot networks loopbacks /24. So what I will do, I will advertise my directly connected nodes. So what I will do on R1, I will advertise my 172.16 dot network. So I can either write the wildcard marks, or if I will not write the wildcard marks also, then also it is, sorry, yes, the wildcard marks, either I can write the wildcard mask or either I cannot write the wildcard mask also. It is not mandatory. Okay, I can just write network and the network ID. That's it. To check the routing table, show IP route, it will give me the routing table. To check the routing table for another same, to check the routing table, to check the neighbor table, show IP EIGRP neighbors, show IP EIGRP neighbor to see the neighbor table. Use no auto summary. Okay, no auto summary. So we have seen this summary part, no auto summary part. Topology table, show IP EIGRP topology. So in EIGRP topology, I will be having the successor information. I will be having the successor and feasible successor if any feasible successor information is present. Check the connectivity. Check the connectivity, you can do thing. Now implementing EIGRP for version 6. This is not there in our syllabus. Now there is some troubleshooting steps. Troubleshooting EIGRP. EIGRP has not discovered any neighbors for router A. So neighbor adjacencies are not been established. So what you can check, how you can check the neighborship? Show IP EIGRP neighbors. Show IP EIGRP neighbors. Now ping from 172.16.1 network to the host on 10.2.2.0 or 172.16.2 network. Okay, I will ping from show IP route. You can see the routes. The ping fails. Router A does not have route to those networks. Okay, router A does not have route to that networks. EIGRP is configured on all three routers. Router B has formed an adjacency with router C, but not with router A. What can be the issue? What can be the issue? We have run EIGRP on all the three routers, but router B has formed the neighborship with the C router and not the A router. What can be the issue? The state is up. Fast Ethernet state is up. AS number, if we see the AS number, show IP protocol. See, the AS number is mismatch over here. Router A is having the EIGRP and the AS number is 11, and router B is running as EIGRP AS number 1. So if AS number is not matching, then they will not repeat. Interface is up. Okay, so I told you the requirement to become the neighbor. The first one is AS number. Okay, is EIGRP enabled on the interface? So how to check? Show IP EIGRP interfaces. Show IP EIGRP interfaces. Okay, so you can see fast Ethernet 0/0 is not having any peers. It is not having any peers. Okay, so but fast Ethernet 0/1 is having one peer. If passive interface is configured, this is not something we need. If some access list is configured and it is blocking the routes, if we have configured any access list and it is blocking the routes, so these are some EIGRP concepts. Okay, EIGRP concepts. EIGRP concepts. Understood? Any doubt till here?
No, sir.
Okay. Now what we will do, an optimization part for EIGRP. How to optimize EIGRP. So what we will do, we have already configured some things over here. What I will do, I will take one more router. Okay, I will make the connection for this router also. 3/0. Okay, I've made the connection. What I will use, I'm using one dot network over here. Okay, I will be using this is my router 3. I'll be using 3 dot network. So let me go over here. I can say this is my LAN network. 30 dot is my LAN network. These are my loopback addresses. This is my ISP. This is not my ISP. We'll delete this thing. 2 dot network. Now over here I will be using some 3.3.3.1. Over here I will be using 3.3.3.2. Okay, over here I will be using some 4.4.4.1. Here I can use 4.4.4.2. Okay, so I will configure the IP addresses on the routers. Also I will advertise the in EIGRP config terminal interface serial 3/0 IP address 192 sorry 4.4.4.2 255.0.0.0 no shut. Okay, then I will go on this router and I will configure both the things, both the interfaces. Enable config terminal interface serial 3/0. This is my 3/0. This is my 2/0. Which is 3/0 and which is 2/0. Okay, so this one is 3/0 only. IP address 4.4.4.1 255.0.0.0. Hari, you didn't understood or you don't have any doubt? Interface serial 2/0 IP address. Okay. 3.3.3.2, then 255.0.0.0. That I will use a WAN interface, LAN interface also, fast Ethernet 0/0. I will use IP address 40.0.0. 40 dot. What was the IP address? I can use 1.1.1 /8 no shut. Okay. Then I will go on this router, enable config terminal, interface serial 2/0 IP address 3.3.3.1 255.0.0.0 no shut. Okay. Then what I will do, show IP protocols, show IP route. So you can see I'm having static route configured. So what I will do run. I will remove these all routes. I don't need these of routes. Copy, paste. No 10 dot 1 dot and 20 dot. Okay, show IP route. I am only having directly connected 2 dot 3 dot 13 dot is my loopback and 30 dot. Okay. Now what I will do, I will advertise this in EIGRP router EIGRP 100. My directly all the directly connected routes. What are my directly connected routes? Network 2 dot 2 dot network, 3 dot network, 30 dot network, and 13 dot network. Okay. I will go on this router also and I will advertise all the things. Or I will see show IP route. I'm having a static route. Okay, so what I will do, I will remove the static route. So run. I will remove this also. Copy. Config terminal router EIGRP 100 network 2 dot network is connected. Adjacency is formed. Then 20 dot network. Okay, already I have advertised 1 dot network. So IP EIGRP neighbors. I should get two neighbors, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 are my the neighbors. Okay, then IP route. I'm having IP route EIGRP. I'm having routes for 3 dot network, 10 dot network, 13 dot network, 30 dot network. What about 20 dot network is my own network, right? So 40 dot network, I have to advertise on 40 dot network also. I have to go over here and I have to say router EIGRP 100 then network, o.network, 3.network, okay, then 40.network, okay, exit. I will go on this router and I will advertise o.network. Router EIGRP 100. I will say network o.0.0.0. Okay, understood? So if I give show IP route EIGRP on this, so I will get all the routes. Okay, so to reach 13.network, you can see to reach 30.network, I have two possible routes. I have two possible routes, and both the routes are having equal cost. Both the routes are having equal cost. Both the routes are having how much? Equal cost. Okay, see, the cost is same. The AD value is 90 and this is the cost. I will see show IP EIGRP topology table. Once I see the topology table, you can see over here successor, 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 one successor. I am having two successor. The first one, both are my best routes. Both are my best routes. Both are what my best routes for 13.network. These are my loopback of my R3's router. This is my 30.network is for my R3 router. I have two routes via 1.network and via 4.network. Okay, so all the successor information will be there in the topology table. So I am having successor information in the topology table. Understood? Got it? So now what I will do, I am on this router only. I will change the bandwidth of check show interface serial 3/0 128 KB. Okay, 128 KB. So I will change the bandwidth value for my this route that is going via o.network. I will change the bandwidth value. So how to change the bandwidth value? Go to interface serial 3/0 and you can say bandwidth. You can give it in kilobytes. So 128 kilobytes is there. I will make it as 100. I will make it as 100. Now if I verify show IP IGRP topology, I am getting two routes. I am getting two routes. Okay. So this is doing equal cost and unequal cost load balancing. Just a second. So IP protocol variance is 1. See, I am having only one successor. I am only having one successor. FD value is this. This is my successor. This is my successor. I am not having any other successor for 13.network also. I am not having any other successor. See, for previously we were having two successors. Now I am having only one successor because I have changed the value. So it is using 1.network to send the. Now if I want that it should use both the paths, then what I will do, see over here, if you will give this command show IP protocol, you will get all the information. Okay, wait, k values, variance is 1 by default. Variance is 1 by default. So what I will do, I will change the variance value. I will change the variance value. What I will change the variance value? I will change the variance value to 2. Router EIGRP 100, and I will say variance. You can give it from 1 to 128. I will give it as 2. Once I give it as 2, the adjacency forms, okay, the new adjacency forms. If I verify show IP EIGRP topology, I'm having two successors. I'm having two successors now. So now it is doing unequal cost load balancing. What is it doing? Unequal cost load balancing. It is sending one packet via this way, one packet via this way. Okay, so I can check trace route 13.0.0.1. See, 13.0.0.1, 30.1.1. See, now it is using 4 dot. Now it is using 4 dot network. You saw? It is using both the paths. For some packets, it will be using 4 dot. For some packets, it will be using. If I trace route 30 dot network, understood? So for some packets, it will be using 4 dot network. For some packets, it will be using 13 dot network. So it will be by default. Understood? Any doubt how to do this? How to change the variance value? How to configure for unequal cost load balancing? Any doubt?
No doubt, sir.
Okay. So we will stop over here.